And a good Bomber Nation evening to you all this evening. We welcome you to Valley View High School for a 5A West tilt between the Mountain Home Lady Bombers and the Valley View Blazers. Lady Bombers coming off a tough loss last night against the number 11 ranked in the state of Arkansas, Brooklyn Lady Bearcats. See if they can bounce back tonight. Should be a good one. This is the first of two matches this week in a 5A East play after they were off last Thursday. Should be a fun one this evening. Of course, the Lady Bombers outside of conference, they have a mutual opponent as both of these teams have played Brooklyn. Lady Bombers were defeated in 5 at home against Brooklyn, and the Lady Blazers were defeated in 4 against the Blazers of Brooklyn. So it should be a good one tonight. Mountain Home comes into this one 3-1 in conference play. Could be 2-1 with wins over Batesville and West Memphis at home, and the lone loss coming against the Eagles of Greene County Tech. Got about 5 minutes left here in warm-up. In this one, it's been a clean sweep so far for Valley View. They have swept every set of every match so far this evening. In the meantime, let's check the starting lineups here for Mountain Home. Don't know the lineup yet for the Blazers. It'll be Anna McCarn, Carly Drury, Michaela Magis, and Addison March, the libero. It's 4 seniors, 3 juniors. Kara Jackson, the one of 3 juniors, along with Dalen Harper and Deanna Human, the starting lineup for your Mountain Home Lady Bombers this evening. So we're going to take a short little intermission. We'll bring you the starting lineups and the national anthem here in just a few moments. This is Lady Bomber Volleyball on the Bomber Sports Network. Back here on the Bomber Sports Network. Glad you're here with us this evening. I am Dylan Conley on behalf of Mountain Home Public Schools, bringing you this one tonight. Made the short 2.5-hour trip to Jonesboro, Arkansas. I believe it's eastern Jonesboro. I wasn't fully awake when made that part over. But good ride over. I believe the Lady Bombers, they'll have everyone in their arsenal. They've been missing Dalen Harper for a good chunk of last week. She played last night. She was excellent. Allie Lucas was out. She had some issues with her knee. I believe she's going to give it a try. She's been warming up. But we will wait until the match starts to make that determination. So again, we'll check the starting lineup again for Mountain Home real quick. Addison Martins, Kara Jackson, Dalen Harper, Deanna Human, along with all 4 seniors, Michaela Magis, Carly Drury, and Anna McCarn. That makes up the first 6 and the libero for the Mountain Home Lady Bombers here this evening. Before we get into everything, we like to send a congratulations. If I can find the paper I'm reading. Ah, yes, there it is. We have an Athlete of the Week, Brantley Phillips, Mountain Home Bomber football player. He is the Jim Holstead Athlete of the Week. Brantley's a junior on the Bomber football team in the Harrison game. He went 5 of 8 passing for 140 yards, 1 touchdown, and rushed for 71 yards in 7 attempts and 2 touchdowns. West Plains, he was 7 of 14 passing, had 1 touchdown, including 100 yards on the ground and 1 touchdown on the ground in 13 attempts. Brantley's also a member of the baseball team and a member of Fellowship of Christian Athletes. While holding a 3.7 GPA, his parents are Tasha and Jared Forbes and Mitchell Phillips. This award is presented by Mike and Susan Stockton. Congratulations to Brantley. We're going to take a short little break. We have about a minute left here in warm-up. They're going to bring you the starting lineups and the national anthem. This is Lady Bomber Volleyball on the Bomber Sports Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Blazer Arena for tonight's 5A volleyball matchup between the visiting Lady Bombers from Mountain Home and your Valley View Blazers. If you would please join me in standing as we say our Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief moment of silence and then the playing of our national anthem. Pledge allegiance. And now let's meet tonight's participants. First for the Bombers, number 9, Maggie Simmons. Number 4, Ava Jones. Number 2, Bella Conyers. Number 23, Anthony Crooker. Number 13, Allie Lucas. Number 12, Lorelei Green. Number 16, Kenna Medley. Number 15, Aspen Boxatek. Number 6, Corey Strachan. Number 10, Lauren Rawls. And the starters for Mountain Home. Number 21, Anna McCarn. Number 3, Addison Marks. Number 5, Carly Drury. Number 26, Michaela Magus. Number 7, Kara Jackson. Number 8, Dalen Harper. And number 17, Deanna Hughes. And the Bombers are coached by former Valley View greats, Jill Strable-Days. And out for the Blazers. Number 1, senior Riley Owens. Number 2, senior Hayden Gartman. Number 4, junior Grantley Hughes. Number 5, senior Avery Peters. Number 6, sophomore Randy Turley. Number 10, senior Aaron Bingham. Number 14, sophomore Barrett Long. Number 16, sophomore Emily Miller. Number 21, sophomore Abby Dalton. Number 23, sophomore Anna Schulte. Number 24, senior London Bean. And the starters for the Blazers. Number 3, junior Audrey Butler. Number 7, senior Annika Wilbanks. Number 8, sophomore Mary Kate Reese. Number 9, junior Bonnie Fagan. Number 12, sophomore LJ Thomas. Number 15, sophomore Kate Calhoun. And number 20, sophomore Peyton Prater. And the Blazers are coached by all-time Valley View great Mark.
All right, Bomber Nation, it's time to play. They just introduced Valley View great Jill Daves, formerly Jill Strable out there. You might have heard that at home. She's, I believe, still the all-time leading scorer in women's basketball here at Valley View. She was a three-sport athlete. She was an incredible athlete, so this is a little bit of a homecoming for Coach Daves as Jason Morris and Kurt Drury are moving away. They're migrating away. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network. For this one this evening. So Mountain Home will be in their blue uniforms. Blue spandex. Addison Martz will be in her gold uniform. Lady Bombers are undefeated with this uniform combo. All right, we're having a small technical glitch with our scoring software. Mountain Home will serve first. Kara Jackson will serve this one away. As this one hits the ground right in front of Martz's hands. She couldn't get there quick enough. And that's a point for Valley View, and we're underway. Those of you that were tuning in to junior or JV football against Highland saw the Bombers were on the low end of that one. At last check, it was 28-0 in favor of the Rebels, as that's a point and a kill for Audrey Butler of Valley View. 2-0 here early in Jonesboro. An electric environment, a raucous crowd surrounding this one. As serving away, that was, couldn't tell who that was, 20, is Peyton Prater. As this one is returned by Prater. It goes back to Jackson. Mage is going to set it up for the middle of Deanna Heumann. It's tapped back. They'll set it on 2 to McCarn, and this goes behind the libero of Valley View, Lindley Joe Thomas, a sophomore, and Mountain Home is on the board. Lauren Rawls will serve now. It's her father, Russ Rawls' 46th birthday today. Hopefully he's watching on his phone while at the JV football game back home. You also hear Russ on our football coverage, and a whistle and a line violation on Lorelei Green. It's 3-1 in favor of the Blazers of Valley View. First Valley View coming off a tough 5-set loss to the Patriots of Marion that we will see in the hangar on Monday, the next home game. That's our pink out night. Out in the home, we'll have Valley View tonight. Then they will head to Searcy. Only JV and varsity that night. It'll be a quicker night than usual as this is tapped over for Green. It's sent back over by Balzerati, I believe. No, that's Audrey Butler as a whistle and a net violation. It is 4-1 Valley View. Valley View and Mountain Home currently tied in 5A East play. It is Marion all alone on top as they are 5-0. Greene County Tech is 4-1. Mountain Home 3-1. Valley View 3-1. Batesville is essentially 2 games behind in 5th place. Nettleton in 6th. As that point is out, it's a point for Mountain Home, followed by Paragould, who's 1-4, and then Searcy and West Memphis are both winless. Anna McCarn, the 6'4" basketball commit for Lindenwood University, will serve. This one's away. Good serve. Goes to the back row. Awkward tap back up front, and this one's into the net on a point for Mountain Home. McCarn will serve again. 4-3 in front of a capacity crowd here in Jonesboro. This one's set up. They're going to go to the far side as this is knocked in the air by McCarn. It'll get sent up 12 rows deep into the bleachers. And it's a point for Valley View. 5-3 now our score. Our 7th grade lost in 2 sets to Valley View. 8th grade lost the lone set that they played. 9th grade lost in 2 sets. And the junior varsity lost the lone set that they played. So Mountain Home not only just trying to win a set for the night, as Mages, they were crossed up, didn't know where they were going to go. It looked like they were trying to go to Harper or someone was supposed to be on the back side and nobody was there. This one's away. Goes to Jackson to the back row. That was Riley Owens that served. Martz will attack from the 10-foot line. They will come back this way. Martz will give it to Jackson. They'll go back to Mages. Tried to get the back corner. They couldn't get it there. They will set it up behind them as Martz can't get to it. And that's Avery Peters, the 5'10 senior, plays in the middle with the kill. And it's 7-3 in favor of the Blazers. And another point for Valley View. I think Jill's close to a timeout. It is 8-3 now. Owens still serving, the outside hitter, a 5'7 outside hitter. A lot of, you look at their roster and you see a bunch of 5'7 girls, but a lot of them can hit. As this is an ace off the fists of Lauren Rawls, and Jill's going to call a timeout. So timeout for the Lady Bombers. We do have some upcoming broadcasts for you here. This week, Lady Bomber Volleyball will be in action in Searcy at Lion Arena. That will start at roughly 5:30. If we can get the set up and get the JV to you, we will. That'll start at 4:30, but we will at least have the varsity for you. And then Bomber football is back in action at home after their bye week. They will be in Bomber Stadium at 7 p.m. If you can't make it out, tune in. We'll have the pregame show starting about 5:45. With my show, The Bomber Buzz, which you can find on Apple and Spotify podcast. We'll have special guest, UCA Bear and former Mountain Home Bomber, Kai Bickford. He's going to come talk to us. That should be a good one. And then we'll have a special presentation for you on Saturday as we'll have Bomber Youth Football. They'll be taking on Thayer. That begins at 9 a.m. from Bomber Stadium with the 3rd grade game, followed by the 4th, 5th, and then finally the 6th grade game. Back here in Jonesboro, it is 9-3 Valley View out of the timeout. Owens still serving. This one's away. It goes to Rawls. Rawls will give it back to Jackson. Jackson sets up Lorelei Green. They go to the far side to the hard-hitting Audrey Butler. It's a kill, and Valley View is the first one to double digits here in set number 1. Valley View coming into this as the number 10 team in the Sports Illustrated powered by SB Live Arkansas rankings. Brooklyn was number 11 in those, so a pair of back-to-back of top 11 teams in the state of Arkansas, as this is a surprise attack on the second hit. And it is 11-3. So you wonder how both of these teams will react. You know, they both lost 5-set heartbreakers last night. Mountain Home was at home, and then Valley View was on the road at Marion, which is a tough place to play, as this is another point for Valley View. So you just wonder how these teams will respond. So evident very early on that Valley View is responding well. A wide consensus, the top of this conference is Marion and Valley View. And then you have Mountain Home, Tech, kind of all in there. That's a kill and a point for Mountain Home. They stop the streak. Dalen Harper with the kill. Magus will serve now. The good thing is Mountain Home has built some equity in the standings so far. They have a 2-game lead over 5th place. They currently occupy, by virtue of tiebreaker, they would be 4th, as that's another point. It's a net violation against the Lady Bombers. 13-4 now in set 1. They're saying Lorelei was in the net. I think that was true. This one's away. As this one's into the net, it's a point for the Lady Bombers. Deanna Human and Carly Drury enter the game. Carly will serve. Deanna goes to the front row. It is Human, Harper, and Kara Jackson. In the front row, the back row consists of Magus, Addison Martz, and Carly Drury. They'll come back to the middle. Jackson sets up Dalen Harper as she punches this one home. It's a kill and a point for Mountain Home. Drury takes a couple dribbles. They have left the... As Human just swats this one back on the first hit. And a whistle and a back row attack is called against Valley View. So the lead is down to 6. The basketball goals are down. It look like they're portable goals, so kind of the same issue we had last night. Of course, theirs is not an issue. They could move those probably, but as this one is punched hard, but Martz comes up with it with another dig as nobody can get to it. 14-7, Valley View up a touchdown, and Jill's going to call her second timeout. She is out of timeouts for the remainder of set number 1. We would like to congratulate our Jim Holstead Athlete of the Week for the week of September 13th. Brantley Phillips, Bomber football team member in the Harrison game, went 5 of 8 passing for 140 yards. 1 touchdown, rushed for 71 yards in 7 attempts. West Plains, he accumulated 2 touchdowns and 173 yards of total offense. Brantley's also a member of the Bomber baseball team. He'll have a big role in that this year. And is a member of Fellowship of Christian Athletes while holding a 3.7 GPA. His parents are Tasha and Jared Forbes and Mitchell Phillips. This award, again, is presented by Mike and Susan Stockton. Mountain Home trying to turn things up here. It's been a longer night than expected. We were supposed to start the 7th grade match at 4 p.m. You know, we cleared it all. We doubled, we triple checked everything, and 7th grade rolls up about 3:15 to get rolling, and then everyone's wondering why they're there so early. Apparently it was scheduled to start at 4:30. So that's why we're a little behind schedule here. As Humans hooks this one over on the second hit. This one is punched, and nobody touched it. A point for Mountain Home. Lead is down to 6. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network. Currently in the 4th quarter. You can also find this on the Bomber Sports Network at mhbombersports.com. Highland currently up 35-7 on the Bombers in junior varsity action. As Human swats this one over, it's pushed back by the front row of Valley View. Drury's just puts her fist out, throws it back over the net. It goes out of play, and it's a point for Valley View. 15-8 our score here in set one. Serving for Valley View will be number 8, Mary Kate Reese, another sophomore for this bunch. A lot of underclassmen all over this Valley View roster. May just digs this one out, give it to Martz, over to Anna McCarn. This is dug out by Gartman. It will come back to Drury. Drury, but Jackson voids the line, gets it to McCarn on the third hit. They'll come back to the left side. They're going to attack March. She digs this one out. They'll come back to Anna McCarn again, and it's a kill and a point for Mountain Home. It just kept feeding her. It went back to the well over and over, and finally it struck for gold. It'll be Kara Jackson serving now for the Lady Bombers. This one's away. It's a good serve as it's a diving dig. It sends it back over on the first hit. McCarn punches it back. They will feed the front row again of Valley View. That is Peyton Prater. Prater again. It was not tipped. They're going to say it was a tip. And it's a point for the Blazers. 16-9 our score now. Valley View to serve. Peyton Prater, a 5'9" outside hitter for the Blazers. They are led by head coach Margie McGee, as this is a point and an ace, just a point for Mountain Home, not an ace, excuse me. 16-10, Mountain Home just hanging around. They had a slow start, but they've kind of evened it out here. Margie McGee in her 25th season here at Valley View. One of the storied programs in the sport of volleyball in the state of Arkansas. Rawls' serve is away. They go back to the middle. It's blocked, but nobody covered the block, and it's a point for the Blazers. 17-10 our score. And we will have a couple substitutions for the Blazers. Entering the game is Bonnie Fagan, and Allie Malloy will serve. The libero for the Blazers. Let's serve here, dug out by Jackson. Majors will set up Anna McCarn, and this one's wide. And a point for the Blazers. A few students still filing in here. It's about 20, 25 people or so. Over in the student section for the Blazers. And this one's into the net. 4 hits is called against Mountain Home. 19-10 now our score. Our boom squad, even on an off night, is way better than anyone that we play, at least. Anyone that I've seen. You have good participation there across all sports. Rawls to Magis, lines it up to Anna McCarn, and it's a kill for Mountain Home. McCarn punches this one home, and Mountain Home trying to cut into this deficit. 19-11 now as Anna McCarn will serve. This one from McCarn is away. It will come back to the right side as it's a point. Just grazes the sideline. And Valley View is the first one to 20. (20-11) our score here. Set number 1 of this 5A East Conference tilt. Glad you're here with us. Riley Owens will serve now. As this is saved by Magis. Smarts will give it up to Green. This one's just past the end line. 21-11. Blazers with the lead. This one's away from Owens. Martz back to Lorelei Green, and it's not close over the net. It's 22-11. Mountain Home out of timeouts in set 1. Owens to serve again, serving from the left side of the floor. Jackson back up to Daylin Harper. Kind of mistimed her jump, still got it over. They'll come back the other way as Jackson digs this one out. Martz back to Lorelei Green. They attack the back row. They'll come back to the middle. Martz digs this one out again. She had 48 digs the other night against Batesville. Rawls back to Green, has to dive in the front row. Martz lofts it over on the third hit, just inside the antenna. They'll go to the far side to Audrey Butler. Jackson serves it behind to Mages. This one's dug out, and this one will be a point for Mountain Home. Kayla Mages with the kill. She'll serve now. Of course, new look floor here, if you remember our last broadcast here, which I'm not going to say highly doubt you remember, but Bomber basketball was here as we have an injury on the left side as they're checking on Audrey Butler. Does have a knee brace on, a lot of padding, so they're checking her out. They gave her a second. They're going to see how she is, but last time we were here for Bomber basketball. Bombers were victorious in that one along with the Lady Bombers. And I believe it was very shortly after, a week and a half after, the entire bottom level of their gymnasium flooded. So they were out of their gym for that long, and then they had to play in their old gym, as this one's out of play and a point for Mountain Home. So it's really, really interesting. They finally got the floor redone and got all the damage fixed. So that was an interesting encounter, to say the least. That one might have been out if they let it go. They'll come back to the middle. They'll give it to Rawls on the back row. Jackson to Green. Green pushes this one over. They will go back to the far side again to Butler. It's blocked to the front row and a point for Mountain Home. Lead is down to 8. It was once a 22-10 lead. Now it's 22-14, and Margie McGee will call her first time out in the set. Her 24th year at the helm of the Blazers. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network for this 5A East Conference matchup. Mountain Home will be in action again on Thursday as they will take on the Lions of Searcy. And then they will finish out the first half of conference next week as they'll welcome Marion to the hangar and then Nettleton the next day to the hangar. And that will complete the first round of conference. So already we're way past, we're into the meat and cheese of the season for these Lady Bombers. Unbelievable. It seems like they just started, but at the completion of next week, there'll be only 6 conference matches remaining. Very hard to believe, but Mountain Home off to a good start. They have a 2-game advantage over 5th place Batesville, and they have the tiebreaker, so essentially 3 games in the loss column at least. This one's away, and it's another point for Mountain Home. And we apologize for having just a few small issues here with our scoring software, but nothing too crazy. It's served by Mages is away, and it's going to go out of play. They're going to retrieve it. Comes back to Martz. Just lofted over. They load up. Daylin Harper with the kill. The lead's down to 6. Good to have Daylin Harper back. She missed most, if not all, of last week with an ankle injury, a light sprain. Twisted it pretty good over at Greene County Tech. They'll go to the far side to Owens. This one's punted up in the air. They'll go back to Lorelei Green from the 10-foot line, and this one's out of play. 23-16 now. Valley View is close to this set 1 victory. Aniston Crooker's going to come in for Lorelei Green. Stud sophomore coming in. I'm sure her parents are watching. I don't see them here. But either way, they're either watching in person or watching at home. I know that for a fact. As they're going to give it to Crooker, and they're going to call Aniston under the line. Could have been Carroll or Aniston. As Aniston got in the net, Carroll was over the line. And it's set point for the Blazers. 24-16 now. This one's away, dug out by Rawls as Crooker has to go near the bench, gets this one over the second hit. They'll load up behind her as a surprise attack by Harper sends it over on the second hit. Rawls to Jackson to load up in the middle for Dalen Harper. She mishandles that one, and that's it for set number one. The Lady Bombers drop set 125-16 here in set one of this 5A East matchup. Of course, Mountain Home has not won a set yet tonight in any of the games or any of the matches. 7th grade was defeated 2-0. 8th grade lost the lone set that they played. The junior high varsity match, Lady Bombers lost 2-0. And then the one set of JV that they played, Lady Bombers lost, and now Mountain Home trails 1-0. Got a few things coming up for you. Big broadcasts. It's 3 more broadcasts this week. It's a big week of Bomber athletics, as we will have more volleyball for you on Thursday, as we will be at beautiful Cersei Line Arena. If you've never been there, it's a pretty good arena there. You'll see it live on the Bomber Sports Network. You saw it last year in the 5A state tournament in basketball. Then on Friday, we're going to regroup about 16 hours later after that and kick off against the Rolla Bulldogs out of Missouri. That'll be at 7 p.m. If you can't make it out to Bomber Stadium, tune in on the Bomber Sports Network or the Mountain Home Athletics app or mhbombersports.com. And then we're going to regroup after that about 12 hours later and bring you some Bomber youth football from Bomber Stadium. It is week 3 for them. It is the third week, and then after that they'll have 3 more consecutive weeks at home. The gold team will be here the next 2 weeks, and then the blue team will be home, and then the gold team to close things out. They'd have 2 teams in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Those are fun to watch. You need to come out and watch. That's the Bombers of tomorrow today, as they'll be taking on Fair. I'm trying to remember all the teams that are in their conference. It's like it's cool. It's a neat little league that they have. I believe there's if I remember right, and I could be just absolutely wrong, but I believe there's a championship game to each grade. So there's Mountain View, there's Thayer, Salem they play. I want to say Highlands on there, and I don't know if I said Mountain View. I might have said Mountain View. But they play all these schools that are around here, but Mountain Home is the only team in this league that has 2 teams. So again, we'll start with the 3rd grade game at 9 a.m., and then the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade will be subsequently after that. These are the gold teams. The blue teams are on the road this weekend, I believe, at Highland. So Mountain Home drops set number 1 against the Blazers of Valley View. So we'll head to set 2 now. We're finishing up some instruction on both sides of the ball. Mountain Home started to figure something out there at the end of that set. They got down 8-3, or no, they got down 10-3, excuse me, but they were just never able to claw back into it. So it looks like the 6 on the floor will be Dalen Harper, Michaela Majors, Carly Drury, Kara Jackson, Anna McCarn, and Deanna Human. Addison Martz will come in to establish her spot in the rotation. I believe this will be Deanna Human that she will get, but we'll see here in a moment. Be on the bottom right of your screen. As the officials checking the final rotations, make sure everyone's good to go. As Martz will come in and get Dalen Harper. It was either going to be Human or Harper, I know that. Valley View will serve. Mary Kate Reese to serve. I'm trying to bounce back after that set 1, as this one's sent over and out of play. Just wide of the antenna. It's an ace for Mary Kate Reese. We do have a Boom Squad theme for that game on Friday against Rolla in football. It is Jersey night. It's also youth football night, so they kind of catered that theme to the fact that about 170 kids will be wearing jerseys there. As this is punched home, a big-time kill by Peyton Prater, and it's 2-0 Valley View. as it is all over. The JV Bombers are defeated 35-14. Well, that is the, I believe, first loss of the season for them. It's a point for Valley View. 3-0 our score. Lady Bombers off to a sluggish start here. As they have to go chase this one, they'll get it over. Good hustle by the libero of Valley View. They'll come back, set up Anna McCarn with the kill. It's 3-1 now. Lauren Rawls will serve now. Again, happy birthday, Russ Rawls. You'll hear him. He is the sideline reporter for our football broadcast. He's also one of the doctors on standby, presented by Baxter Health. They'll come back to the far side. This one's out of play. Was not touched, and it's a point for the Lady Bombers. This one's away. 3-2 our score. They will set up to the middle. Allie Lucas seeing her first action of the night. They will just loft it over. Lucas will tap it back with two hands. They'll go to the far side to Prater. This one's out of play, and we're tied at 3. Rawls will serve now. It's Rawls, Jackson, and Martz in the back row. McCarn, Mages, and Allie Lucas up front. Good serve by Rawls. They'll go back to the right side of the front row. They'll send it to Martz, back to Mages, punches this one. It's returned by the libero. It's a awkward set. They'll go back to Mages again, trying to catch him off guard, and it hits the back corner. It's a point for Mountain Home, and they have their first lead of the night. Four to 3 our score now. We're all serving just right of the basketball block. This one's away. And we'll go back to the far side. That is Prater. Dug out by Martz. They give it to Anna McCarn. They got away with a lift, it looks like, and they get the point anyway. So Mountain Home currently up 5-3 here in set number 2. Rawls serving once again. This one's away. Dug out by the libero of Valley View, as this is a point and a kill. That's Kate Calhoun on the kill, and the lead is trimmed in half down to 1. Peyton Prater will serve. Straddling the basketball lane line. On the right block, this one's away. Martz to Mages. She will load up behind her to Allie Lucas. This is dug out by Malloy. They'll come back to Oliver. Dug out by Rawls. Jackson behind her to Mages, and just missed the end line. And we're all square at 5. The 5'9" outside hitter, Peyton Prater, serving once again. This one's batted away. Mages back to, it's going to be Rawls who has to just hit it over. Make sure it gets over. Now to the middle as a good hit by Kate Calhoun. And Valley View is on a 3-0 run. They have the lead once again, 6-5. Prater serving once again, getting signals from Margie McGee, the 24th year head coach. May just had to move Lucas out of the way to serve it up for Anna McCarn, as Prater just sends it back over from the 10-foot line. They'll go back to McCarn. This one's blocked in the front row, as this one is not blocked. That is a point and a kill for Audrey Butler, the 5'5" defensive specialist. according to Sports Illustrated Arkansas, presented by SB Live, as McCarn tried to save this one. And it's out of play. It is 8-5 now. Quick 5-0 run by the Blazers. Mountain Home trying to stop the bleeding here. This one's away. Martz to Mages behind her to Anna McCarn in the middle. Good job by Thomas to dig that one out. Rawls punches it straight in the air. It's out of the pursuit lane. And a point for Valley View. And Jill's going to call timeout. So now that we have a break in the action, again, want to congratulate our Jim Holstead Athlete of the Week. You can read more about this at mhbombersports.com or on the Mountain Home Athletics app. He's a junior on the Bomber football team. He was 5 of 8 passing against the Goblins of Harrison 2 weeks ago. Accounted for 3 touchdowns. In West Plains, he accounted for 2 touchdowns and had 175 yards of total offense. Brantley's also a member of the baseball team and a member of FCA. While he holds a 3.7 GPA, his parents are Tasha and Jared Forbus and Mitchell Phillips. Again, that award is presented by Mike and Susan Stockton. Appreciate Mike and Susan Stockton for doing that. They give it away that award every week for as long as I can remember. They gave it back even when I was in school, so it's been probably close to 15 years that they've been giving that award away. So Valley View serving once again. Mountain Home has 1 timeout here in set 2. This one's away. Jackson back to McCarn, returned by Rawls. They will go back to the middle. Dug out. May just tried to save it, couldn't, and Valley View's in double digits. Well, Mountain Home trying to stop this 7-0 run from the Blazers. Martz to Mages as Rawls falls and McCarn mistimed it. And it's a point for Valley View. It's 11-5 now. Prater's serve is away as this one's out of play and Mountain Home stops the bleeding. 11-6 now. Dalen Harper comes back in, replacing Addison Martz. This one's away. They'll load up to the middle, trying to loft it over. Rawls digs it out. Jackson will go back to Dalen Harper behind her. Prater, they'll set it on the second hit. McCarn to Jackson to Dalen Harper. Just wide of the sideline on a point for Valley View. Addison Martz returns to the game, replacing Anna McCarn. It is Lauren Rawls, Addison Martz, and Michaela Mages in the back row. Allie Lucas, Dalen Harper, and Kara Jackson make up the front row for the Lady Bombers. 12-6 our score in set 2. Harper to Allie Lucas from the 10-foot line over her head. They will go back to, couldn't tell who that was, but it's going to be a point for Valley View. 13-6 now. In favor of the Blazers. Lindley Joe Thomas serving now. 5'6" sophomore. This was just over the net. Jackson back to the middle alley. Lucas. They tried to get on the left side, but Reese was there to dig it out. Jackson behind her to Mages. They'll try here on the right side. Off it up. This one's dug out by Rawls with a diving punch. Harper launches it over. They'll go back to the far side, and this one's out of play as Martz dug out of the way. Martz ducked her head at the last second. She realized that was going out of play, and Mountain Home's cut the lead to 6. Mages serving as this one grazes the net, makes it over. They'll come back, and it's a point and a kill for the Blazers. Again, Mountain Home and Valley View coming to this one essentially tied at 3-3-1. Other matchups going on tonight. Batesville has defeated Searcy 3-0. Marion is at West Memphis. And Nettleton is taking on Paragould. But the only score final is Searcy has been defeated 3-0 by Batesville. As Rawls will give it back to Jackson, back to Dalen Harper. This one's out of play. 15-7 now. Valley View serving once again. 15-7. This one's over the net. Jackson back to Allie Lucas, and they're calling for a tip, and it is. It's a point for Mountain Home. The official pointed the wrong way. She corrected it immediately. So Allie Lucas missed last night. She had a little knee issue, but they didn't want to risk it yesterday in a non-conference game. It was a big game, but you know, these conference games are more valuable. Drury serve is just past the end line. 16-8 Valley View. This is London Bean serving, and it's out of play, and a point for Mountain Home. 16-9 now. As Addison Martz will serve now, Dalen Harper goes to the bench. Anna McCarn, Deanna Human, Kara Jackson the front row, Mages, Drury, and Martz make up the back row. They'll go back to the middle. It's blocked. It grazed a lot of the net, but it fell down just at the perfect angle. And it's a point for Valley View, 17-9 now. Gartman will serve now. Archman's serve is to Mages. Mages misplaced her hands, and it's an ace for Valley View. It's 18-9 now. This one's dug out by Mages. Back to McCarn in the middle, and it stays in play just wide of the sideline, or just inside the sideline. 18-10. Kara Jackson will serve now. Jackson's serve goes to the middle. They'll set up on the far side to Hughes, 5'8" junior. They'll go back to McCarn. This is punched over on the first hit as Human looks like she just threw it over. And they're going to call a lift. I think it just looked like the official, it was, but I think she waited until Coach McGee at Valley View said something about it before she made that decision. It looks like Deanna just threw it over. Jackson, or not Jackson, Drury, as this is dug back right in front of Kara Jackson, and it's 20-10 now. This one's away. Drury, Mages has to chase this one. Addison Martz now. They'll come back this way. Good block in the front row as McCarn was ready to again. That was the third hit. Come back to McCarn, just lofts it over. It wasn't just an amazing set there. They'll come back, and it's dug out by Martz. Jackson had to go back to her feet as McCarn chases this one back over. And Mages can't loft it over. Point for Valley View, 21-10 now. This one's away. And another point for the Blazers. Okay, Calhoun with another kill. 22-10. Mary-Kate Reese to serve now. Reese's serve is away. It's out of play. Past the end line. 22-11 now. Allie Lucas comes back in. Be Lucas, McCarn, and Magis, along with Jackson, Martz, and Lauren Rawls serving. Rawls' serve is away. It's a high arcing serve. A little bit of a change-up. They'll go back to Hughes, and it's just inside the corner. 23-11. Prater to serve now. 23-11. This one's away. Jackson to Magis. They'll go behind to McCarn. He's dug out in the back row by Mary-Kate Reese. Rawls to Magis. It will come back to Jackson. Magis to McCarn over the net. He'll give to Prater at the 10-foot mark. McCarn's got to hit it over her head. They'll load up to the far side. Good block in the middle by Magis and Lucas, as they just have to send it over on the third hit. As Lucas taps it straight up, McCarn will hit it over. It's just punched back on the return. Jackson back to Allie Lucas in the middle, and this will be a point for Mountain Home. Allie Lucas cuts the lead to 11. 23-12 now. Anna McCarn will serve. (23-12) our score. McCarn's serve is away. They will go back to McCarn as she launches this one 12 rows deep. Good effort just to get to that one. And it's set point for the Blazers. So it is the libero for Valley View serving here, and it's a point. It was Lindley Jo Thomas serving. She served it into the net. 24-13 now is set point number 2. And Michaela Magis will serve. This one's away. It will go back to the middle. Good block by Lucas and Jackson. Jackson will set up for Dalen Harper, and this will be another point for Mountain Home. 24-14. As Michaela Magis will serve now. Magis' serve is away. We've been close going out, but there was someone there. Magis to Jackson, back to Dalen Harper. Blocked in the front row. It's a kill and a point for Mountain Home. So set point number 4 coming up now. Attempt number 4. Magis serving once again. As this one might be a little difficult. They'll get it back to Oliver. Dug out by Martz. Jackson back to Rawls. Launched over on the third hit. It will go back to the middle. It was blocked, but not. Well, we'll see if it was in play. They're going to call it in play. And that's it for set 2. Lady Bombers drop set 2 25-15. Now they have been in this position last week. Their last road trip, they were at Batesville. They were down 2-0. They came back and won. So we'll need to see if they can have some more magic here this evening. Of course, the last 2 matches they've been in have involved the team going up 2-0 losing. Do have a few more broadcasts for you this week. The week is very young. We'll have more Lady Bomber volleyball for you on Thursday, as we'll be hitting the road to Searcy, Arkansas, to Lion Arena. Only JV and varsity that night. No junior high teams with us. They will be off to Jonesboro. Action from Lion Arena is going to begin at 4:30 with the JV contest. If we get set up in time, we're rolling and we're all good to go. We'll get the JV contest to you out for you. If not, we will at least have the varsity game. And then Friday night, we're going to regroup and show you some Bomber football. The Bombers will welcome the Bulldogs of Rolla. It's the first matchup in school history against the Blazers, That will start at kickoff at 7 p.m., pregame at 5:45 with the Bomber Buzz. I'll have Kai Bickford with me on this week's episode as they're playing Play That Funky Music, White Boy. And after that, on Saturday, we'll have Bomber Youth Football for you from Bomber Stadium. Mountain Home will be taking on Thayer. Action begins with the 3rd grade game at 9 a.m., then the 4th grade, then the 5th grade, and then finally the 6th grade. These are the gold teams in action. The gold teams will be home this week and next week. Then they'll be on the road and then back at home for the final week. This is week 3 of 6 consecutive weeks of Bomber Youth Football being at Bomber Stadium every Saturday. Come on out. Watch the Bombers tomorrow today. And let's see. I have their schedule here somewhere. Here they are. So on Saturday, the blue team will be at Highland. The following week, September 28th, the gold team will be home against West Plains. Blue will be at Salem. The gold team is on a bye October 5th, but the blue team's home against Highland. The 12th of October, we will have the blue team at Thayer, or against Thayer at Bomber Stadium, and then the gold will be against Prairie Grove. And that's it. Then after that, they're all on the road. Blue will be at Harrison. Gold will be at Highland October 19th and October 26th. The blue team is on a bye week. And the gold team will be at West Plains. So there's a bunch of teams in this. It's a league. So West Plains, Mountain View, Thayer, Salem, Highland, Harrison, and Prairie Grove are all in this league. But Mountain Home is the only team with 2 teams because they're significantly larger than a lot of, actually all of those schools. So they have a blue team and a gold team just to kind of split things up, make sure a lot more kids get, acclimated to football and interested in football. But yeah, if you can't make it out, come on if you're able to. But you can tune in on the Bomber Sports Network on YouTube. There'll be no commentary on that one. We'll just have the Huddle focus camera set up. We do apologize. The last couple broadcasts we've had at home in football, we've had connectivity issues, a couple of internet issues. We'll see if we can't get those figured out by Friday. Bring you clear and crisp picture to your homes and laptops starting at 7 p.m. as the clocks ran out here in the intermission. They're playing the hits here in Valley View. They're playing Play That Funky Music, White Boy. Earlier they're playing It's Raining Men by the Weather Girls. So the greatest hits of, I can't remember what decade that would be. That was before my time. But yeah, only the hits here in Valley View. We're ready to roll here. So the Lady Bombers can come back and mount a comeback. It will be the 3rd consecutive match that has involved a team going up 2-0, losing in 5 sets. So hopefully Mountain Home can swing the momentum. Mountain Home will serve. Kara Jackson to serve. It's Jackson, Drury, and Martz in the back row. Mages, Deanna Human, and Anna McCarn in the front row. Nothing our score here in set 3. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network. Martz sends it to her libero counterpart on the far end. This is dug out, and it's going to be a lift. All right, well, no, they're going to call a net violation. They're going to call a net violation on Deanna Human, and Valley View's on the board 1-0. Prater to serve now, 1-0. Drury to Mages. Now to McCarn from the 10-foot line. Got that one over the net. It will come back this way to Martz. Jackson returns it. Human swats it over, and it's going to be a kill and a point. And we're tied at 1 here in set 3. This one's away. And it's a point for the Lady Bombers. 2-1 our score now. Lauren Rawls serving. Again, shout out to the birthday boy, Russ Rawls. 46 years young today. This one will come back to the near side to Wilbanks. And McCarn taps it over, and it's out of play wide of the sideline. 2-2 our score now. LJ Thomas now serving. This one's away. It's Lindley Joe Thomas on the roster. They call her shorter for LJ. As Mages taps it over on the second hit. They will come back and return with Bonnie Fagan. Just catches the back corner. And Valley View has the lead here in set 3. 3-2 our score now. As LJ Thomas to serve. Getting a hand signal from their coach Margie McGee. This one's away, blocked in the front row by Magus and Lucas. Jackson taps it over on the second hit. They will return. It's out of play and a point for Mountain Home. And that one's out of play. A point for Valley View. Serve is away by Prater. It's a good serve. Jackson, and nobody knew where to go, so Rawls saved it, knocked it over. It's blocked in the front row by Harper, and it's a point for Mountain Home. So Mountain Home able to salvage a point out of that one. Could have been disastrous. Kayla Mages serving now as this one's in the net. Point for Valley View. 5-4 our score. And Valley View wins this set, it's all over. They have a 2-0 lead now. Valley View again, number 10 in the Arkansas Sports Illustrated powered by SB Live rankings of volleyball in Arkansas. As Dalen's hit is just wide. Point for Valley View, 6-4 now. So Mountain Home in the span of a week and a half will see the number 11, 10, and 9 team on those rankings as they'll welcome Marion to the hangar on Monday. It is pink out. So come on out, join us there. That's the next home match for them. Jackson to Magus. As that will go back to the middle. It's blocked by Lucas, taps it in the air as Harper punches it over on the second hit. It's returned. Martz digs it out, and Jackson had to move Lucas out of the way. Harper punches this one over. They will go back to the far side again. It's blocked, but nobody covered the block. And Prater has the kill, and it's 7-4 Valley View. This one's away. Lucas digs it out. They'll go back to Dalen Harper again, and it's out of play. A point for Valley View. 8-4 our score here in set 3. Both these teams coming off of 5-set losses last night. As Valley View was on the road to Patriot Arena. So, excuse me, Fidelity Bank Arena over in Marion. Want to make sure I get the naming correct as this is blocked to the front row. Martz back to Dalen Harper. And this one catches the edge of the end line, and it's a point for Mountain Home. Deanna Human, Carly Drury step in. Carly's going to go serve, the Williams Baptist softball commit. Of course, Carly getting all of her athleticism from her father. This one's away, over the net. They will serve and set up to the front row. Dug out by Magus, good job by her. They'll give it back to Human in the middle. It's dug out. Nobody was there to block it. Martz to Jackson to Dalen Harper. This one is trouble, and it's a point for Mountain Home. And it's another point for Mountain Home, 8-7 now. Serve is away. Punched in the air, blocked in the front row by Human and Harper. Jackson now to Dalen Harper, lofts it over. This is hit from the 10-foot line, and nobody covered the block. Human and Jackson did a good job blocking it, but nobody was behind them, and now it's a point for Valley View. Gartman to serve now. Coach Skylar King watching. Bomber tennis team's rolling. Jackson to Dalen Harper as this one is wide of the sideline. 10-7 now. Listen to last week's Bomber Buzz as he was a guest with me on Classic Hits 101.7. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple. Jill takes a timeout. It's her first one of the third set. Again, some upcoming broadcasts coming up. We'll have youth football on Saturday against Thayer. That begins at 9 a.m. Should be a good one there. If you haven't been to one, you need to come out and watch. If you can't come out and watch, you need to tune into the broadcast. But commentary on that one. We still got two more high school broadcasts this week. Volleyball and football in action. Volleyball will be taking on Searcy from beautiful Lion Arena in Searcy. That will begin JV at 4:30. We'll have the varsity contest for you for sure at 5:30. If we get set up and everything, we will bring you the junior varsity. The Bomber football kickoff on Friday against Rolla. That's the first matchup between these two schools in school history since recorded history started for Mountain Home back in 1947. 10-7 our score. Here's the lineup for Mountain Home. It is Deanna Human, Kara Jackson, and Dalen Harper up front. Carly Drury, Michaela Mages, and Addison Martz make up the back row for Mountain Home as this serves away. Harper punches this one, dug out in the back row. They will line up and set it from the 10-foot line, just lofted over. Mages will line up for Dalen Harper. They'll go back to the far side once again, just grazes the sideline. And a point for Valley View. Eleven to 7 our score now. And a point for Mountain Home, so they stop the bleeding. 11 to 8 now. Serve from Martz. They will go back. They'll just loft it over. McCarn digs it out. Jackson back to Anna McCarn, and this one is just past the end line. Point for Valley View, 12 to 8 our score. All right, Kate Reese to serve now. Sophomore setter for the Blazers. Mages to Jackson. They'll load up for Anna McCarn in the middle. It's blocked, and they couldn't get to it in time. 12 to 9 our score. Mountain Home trying to snag set number 3 and begin this comeback. Last two matches the Lady Bombers have played, the team that went up 2-0 ended up losing. So hopefully that continues tonight. This is over the net. Jackson back to the middle. They'll go back to, that was Annika Wilbanks. And McCarn returns it, dug out in the back row. They'll go back to 20. Returned by Mountain Home. Martz has to hit from the 10-foot line as a point for Mountain Home. So Mountain Home's cut the lead to 2. This one's away. It's served by Mountain Home. It comes back this way. This one's out of play. It's 12 to 11. So even if Mountain Home were to just take a set and leave here losing 3-1, that's still big because, they could come back to the hangar in a couple weeks. They end up, beating them 3-0. They would have a tiebreaker. So you want to try to get as many points as possible. Same thing in any sport. And that's a point and a kill. Annika Wilbanks, a 6-foot senior middle blocker. It's her 7th kill of the night, and it's 13-11. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network, MHBombersports.com, and the Mountain Home Athletics app. If you've never heard of this app or that website, you should check them both out. As this one's way out of play, Jackson couldn't get her hands squared correctly. And Wilbanks has another kill. 14-11, Valley View's up by a field goal. Prater serves on the way. The serve goes to Drury as they set up McCarn. Hard swing from McCarn. They'll come back this way to Wilbanks. It's out of play. And a point for Mountain Home. Allie Lucas comes back into the game. The grouping of 7 students here making the student section, trying to distract us. Unsuccessfully, I might add. They will go back to the far side. Rawls to Jackson to the middle. Anna McCarn lofted over. Didn't have 100% power on that. Jackson, McCarn to Anna, back to Mages, back to McCarn as this one is in play, and a point for Mountain Home. Allie Lucas with the kill, and Margie McGee calls timeout. Her first timeout of the third set, as they're hanging on to a 1-point lead. It's always big to see how things turn out after timeouts. Real quick, we're going to start doing this every week. Since we have the information about it, we'd like to congratulate Brantley Phillips, our athlete of the week. Brantley's a junior on the Bomber football team. Went 5 of 8 passing, had over 210 yards of total offense. 3 touchdowns, and against West Plains, he accumulated 175 yards of total offense with 2 scores. Brantley's also a member of the Bomber baseball team, is a pitcher and corner infielder, I believe, plays first base. He is a member of FCA. He holds a 3.7 GPA. Parents are Tasha and Jared Forbus and Mitchell Phillips. Congratulations, Brantley Phillips, your Jim Holstead Athlete of the Week. That is presented, of course, by Mike and Susan Stockton. So Mountain Home trying to extend this one to a 4th set. Rawls will serve now. This one's away. Rawls, a 3-sport athlete. Plays on the Lady Bomber basketball and soccer team. As this is blocked in the front row, and we're tied at 14. 14 all here in set number 3. Rawls to serve once again. It's served by Rawls. They'll go back to the middle. It's blocked, and they're going to call a lift on Michaela. Actually, no, they're going to call a net violation on Allie Lucas. So Mountain Home loses possession. Valley View will take it back after the net violation by Allie Lucas, who missed yesterday's game. A little knee issue, but I believe she's all good now. Mages back to Allie Lucas. This is blocked straight in the air. It never cleared the net, and a point for Mountain Home. I thought it was going to bounce back on our side. It did clear the net, obviously. Looked like it was going to bounce back, but Anna McCarn, the 6'4" Lindenwood basketball commit, serving now. Good serve to the middle of the back row. They'll come back to Wilbanks as Lucas couldn't get out of the way, and that's the 3rd hit from Mages. And it's a point for Valley View. Might recognize that name. Her dad is Coach Gunnar Wilbanks, who used to be at Mountain Home. I believe around 8, 9 years ago. Also coached a little wrestling. As this one's away. Rawls to Jackson. They'll load up for Dalen Harper. And it's a kill and a point for Mountain Home. We're tied at 16. Kayla Mages to serve now. Joining her in the back row, Lauren Rawls, Addison Martz up front. It's Harper. And it's a point for Mountain Home, along with Harper, Allie, Lucas, and Kara Jackson. Make up the front row. Another service error for Mountain Home, and Valley View takes possession back, 17-16. Jackson to Dalen Harper. Hard hit, but it's past the end line. 18-16. And I think Jill was wanting a tip there. It certainly looked like one, but the line judge right next to her apparently saw different. It's the, couldn't see the air quotes C there. This one comes back to the right side. Jackson sends it over on the second hit. It will come back this way and stays in play. It's a kill for Valley View. And Jill's going to call timeout. Jill's going to take her first timeout here in set 3. Both sides have only one timeout remaining. See if we can't get you some more scores here in 5E East Conference play. Greene County Tech is off tonight as Batesville's defeated Searcy 3-0. Mountain Home will be at Searcy on Thursday. Marion has defeated West Memphis in straight sets, and we don't have a Nettleton and Paragould score, but Nettleton is winless in conference play. Paragould only has one victory, as they were awful close to a second one, as they had a 2-0 lead against Batesville, and they ended up losing that one in 5. A lot of 5-set victories involving teams that went up 2-0 in this conference. But Greene County Tech is the lone wolf not in action tonight in this 9-team conference. Other games in action on Thursday as we're getting closer to the end of the first round of conference. Ends after next Tuesday's match against Nettleton. Mountain Home is against Searcy, West Memphis, and Greene County Tech. Batesville has Paragould, and Valley View will be visiting Nettleton. Mountain Home with essentially 3 games in hand over Batesville. They are 2 games ahead in the loss column, but the tiebreaker, that's an extra game for them. As that's a point for Mountain Home. It goes past the end line. Mountain Home hanging around. It's the most. Carly Drury to serve now. This is the most points Mountain Home has in a set so far tonight. 16 and 15 respectively in the first 2 sets. As they'll go back, it's lofted underhand over. Mages returns it on the first hit. As nobody was there, it falls between 5 Lady Bombers, and it's a point. Valley View's the first one to 20. And a point for Mountain Home. This is out of play. Martz's serve can't clear the tape. 21-18 now. Valley View closing in on this 3-set victory. Mary Kate Reese to serve now. Mountain Home will play everyone twice in this conference. So Valley View will have to make a return trip to the hangar where the Lady Bombers are really good. As this is blocked in the front row, they get away with 2 lifts. 2 lifts uncalled in the front row. So they'll go back to Human. Returned by Wilbanks. dug out by Drury. Mages to Anna McCarn, and this one will stay in. They'll come back, Drury, and it's a point for Valley View. So the next time we will see Valley View be October 15th. That's in the hangar. McCarn launches it over. I'm trying to extend this one to a fourth set. Looked like Human might have touched the tape at the top of the net, but they didn't call it. Jackson back to Anna McCarn, the hard-hitting 6'4 senior. Blocked in the front row, dug out by McCarn as Jackson trips over McCarn. They're scrambling to get back up. They'll go back to the front, dug out by Mages. Human launches it over. It's a point for Mountain Home. Bodies flying everywhere on that point. It's 22-19. Kara Jackson serving now. This one's away. Lofted in the front row, and they weren't expecting it. 23-19 now. We have a 23-19 here in Valley View. Upcoming games for Mountain Home, they will be in action at Searcy on Thursday. Searcy is winless in 5A East play. We'll have that one for you on the Bomber Sports Network. And then on next Monday, they will welcome the Lady Patriots of Marion to the hangar for our Pink Out night. March to Jackson, back to Anna McCarn. Hey, well, Valley View is a really good team. Human, it's over the net, and a point for Valley View, and it's match point. So Mountain Home approaching the 3-set sweep this evening. This one's away from Prater. This one is in the front of the tape, and she crossed over the plane of the top of the net. Something that could have been called a couple times tonight, but probably just a handful of times. Of course, both sides have. So Mountain Home is into the 20s now. See if they can extend this match to another point. Rawls to serve. This one's away. They will load up, go back to the left side to Wilbanks, and it's a point and a win for Valley View. So Lady Bombers lose this one, 3-0, 25-20 in that third set. It's 25-16 in the first set, 25-15 in the third set. So Mountain Home goes winless on the night. They did not win a set in any of the 5 matches played this evening. They lost 2-0 in 7th grade, 1-0 in the 8th grade and the junior varsity contest. They lost 2-0 in the junior high varsity contest, and then the varsity game they lose 3-0. Next broadcast, Lady Bombers will be in action at Searcy. Catch that one beginning at 4:30. That's going to do it here from Valley View. We're going to hit the road, head back home. I'm Dylan Conley on behalf of the Mountain Home School District, wishing you a good rest of your evening. We will see you Thursday.